back to the NFL. I posited the question to you gentlemen here as we recap the Patriots' 28-16 win over the Houston Texans. Craig, you thought that the Texans should have started Davis Mills in the second half to at least come out with a better shot than they did.
Yeah, I mean, they needed something new, maybe a little joke, because don't get me wrong, that defense was doing their job. That defense kept the game as close as they possibly could for as long as they possibly could, all up until the fourth. And it's pretty much the game plan that we want to see for this game,
right.
Wear that defense down so that pretty much you can run on them in the fourth. And the way Ramondre assaulted that game at the end was pretty good.
You think C.J. Stroud is the future for the Houston Texans? I mean, he's brought them to 2 divisional. I would say not him by himself. As Clay laughs in the background. The Houston Texans, obviously, with a great stout defense, and they have no problem winning in the wild card round. The divisional round is a different story. They've never advanced past the divisional round. Do you think he's a future in the NFL?
I mean, no, he doesn't have a future. I mean, he's going to have to do the same Donald route. He's going to have to get out of Houston, stop over somewhere else, and stop over somewhere else, and then find himself. He got ruined by playing him in his first year.
Yeah. So big win, obviously, for the Patriots, 20-16. They head to the AFC Championship game tomorrow, 3:00 kickoff. The other divisional matchup of the AFC. This was the most watched Saturday game for sports in a very long time, according to the TV ratings out in Denver, between Josh Allen and then Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. The Broncos beating the Bills 33-30 in overtime. So I asked the question that everybody's been asking, and we can show it on the screen here if we would. Was it a catch? The deep ball to Brandon Cooks, our old friend Brandon Cooks.
Yes.
An interception. Was it a catch in your mind?
Yes, it was a catch. It was a catch, and he was down. So there was no fumble. He was down, and that was the end of the play right there.
I agree. Probably one of the more controversial calls in a game. There weren't a lot of flags in that game, and but we knew at the end the refs had to get in the way somehow. They had to make it about themselves somehow. And the question, too, I would argue, and I would posit to you, is obviously the Bills moving on from head coach Sean McDermott, which surprised a lot of people. Maybe it didn't, but Sean McDermott's still the head coach of the Buffalo Bills if Brandon Cooks makes that catch and the Bills advance out of Denver.
At least for another week, he would be.
Even if they said beat the Patriots and made it to the Super Bowl.
I mean,
yeah.
But I think the only thing that would have saved Sean McDermott is a Super Bowl. And that he would have had to bring the ring home.
Right.
And that would have gave him.
Yeah, you don't fire coaches after winning a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Right. I think if they win that game, he's good for the year. Even if they lose to the Patriots, I think he's good because of the comeback. But, coulda, shoulda, woulda, these things.
Yeah, I asked the question about, Clay, I mean, I don't know how many times we talked about this on the show before. Josh Allen, when is it going to happen? Is he going to take the next step this year? No Lamar, no Mahomes, no Burrow, and they can't do it. And to be fair, that catch was a big play of the game. But also, if you remember the end of the first half where they should have just kneed it and got over, Josh Allen fumbled the ball and allowed Denver to kick a field goal to expand upon their lead. So I asked this question as well. Has the window, despite they may bring in whoever the head coach is, and the reports are they're interviewing both Mike McDaniel and, yes, Phillip Rivers to become the next head coach of the Buffalo Bills. I asked the question here quickly. The window for Josh Allen, can he, and we'll continue to ask this question, can he bring the Bills to a Super Bowl? Does he have it in him with the team surrounding him to bring the Buffalo Bills to a Super Bowl at some point?
I think that they have as much chance as the Atlanta Falcons have of winning the Super Bowl, no matter who they brought in, because I know a lot of Atlanta Falcons fans, and they're fair weather fans. They come out when the team is winning, when the teams. Oh no, that's Buffalo's not like that. Just Atlanta. But anyway, no, the window is closed because Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are two sides of the same $50.
Yeah, running quarterbacks, not much.
I don't really think the window's closed. I just think that he tried to do too much.
Yeah. And,
when you got people calling you Superman and you start to believe your own hype sometime, you try to do too much. So I think in that game, he just tried to do too much. He might just want to calm down. Maybe with a new coach, they'll get him to do some different things. Maybe, focus more on the pocket and stop the running, because what we've learned with running quarterbacks is eventually you're going to break down. Happens to the best.
Well, we'll see what happens at Buffalo. They got a new stadium, a new head coach, and we'll see what happens going forward up there in Orchard Park.